Alright guys, here we are at the Hayworth residence because we have a side quest here. See what's going on. Excuse us, we put in a request for the special support section. Hello there, SSS. I can't tell you how glad I am that you're here to help with this again. Yes, thank you very much for coming. Can you tell us what's happened since yesterday, Chief ಠೊಃLove? I understand there was a new development in the case. Yes, that's correct. I fear the situation is more dire than we originally thought. I'd like to discuss it in depth with you all right away. Would that be all right? Except, right now is fine. Please fill us in on the details. You mentioned that the situation has changed since yesterday. That it has. Yesterday evening, I went to the Ash Tree Inn in another attempt to persuade Derek. I told him that Minnith character was far too suspicious and that he had to break ties with him. You didn't beat around the bush then, huh? Not for a second, but in the end, Derek still refused to listen. However, I did learn something new. And so I hurried here to discuss the matter with Mr. Hayworth. Something new? Has Minnith taken some form of action? What Chief ಠೊಃLove told me caught me off guard, if I may be frank. Minnith's grip on the village is far tighter than we had given it credit for. Would you mind elaborating? From what we learned yesterday, several villagers already trust him. Has it gone further than that? Well, you see, Minnith has not only secured the private property of Amorica Road, but also the deeds to numerous plots and fields in the village itself. He what? As shocking as that is, one question comes to mind. How was he able to pull off something that big? Good question. From what we know, Minnith pitched a plan to increase Amorica's lotus production, as he puts it, by slowly accumulating deeds to the villagers' farmlands. He could expand their lotus fields and streamline their harvest. Moreover, management of the plots themselves would be contracted to the Quincy company to reduce the required labor. Yeah, we kind of already know what he's talking about right here, because one of the villagers, she was talking about, I think it might have been, what's that guy's name? The one that got the new truck. I feel like his name starts with an E. Can't think of it right now. But his sister, she was the one that was saying he wasn't quite sure about all of this because she likes to do her field work. That does line up with what we heard yesterday. At first blush, it sounds like a pretty good deal for the villagers. Yeah, too good to be true. As long as those deeds are in Minnith's hands, he can abuse the land in any way he wants. There'd be no coming back from that. Indeed, the man cannot be trusted by any means. But he's slowly focused on that private property of ours. Even the worst case scenario wouldn't be too terrible. But now that he's using plots to land within the village, the results could be catastrophic. You guys might be shit out of luck when it comes to breaking that contract, though. That's where you come in. If you can expose him, then perhaps the contract can be voided. I know there's nothing criminal happening on the surface here, but even still, he asked you to look into this? Well, the SSS has never actually been all that beholden to CPD protocol. Our job is to support the citizens when they request it. You've given us enough reason to find Minnith suspicious, so we'll gladly help. Thank you, Detective Bannings. All of you have been our village's guardian angels. Where should we begin the investigation? I'm a bit of a loss on that myself. Me too. It's not as if we have any smoking guns to look into. True. In that case, why not ask Yun for assistance? Oh, Grimwood. Grimwood might have something. Still don't know how to feel about that guy though. He has too much information at his hand. Do you mean Mr. Grimwood? Yes. Granted, we're only working off suspicions at the moment, but if you explain the situation to Yun, you may be able to find a trace of something illicit in Minnith's action. It sounds like a good idea. Even a shred of evidence against Minnith will be a good starting point for the investigation. I should warn you though, Yun's been incredibly busy ever since the mayor advocated for our independence. It's true. I mean, the guy, I don't know if he actually has the time to be dealing with this. Wasn't he writing up the Constitution? There's no guarantee he'll have the time to see it. Only one way to find out, off the Grimwood Law Office. Maybe we'll catch him, maybe we won't. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, let's go pay him a visit. We'll leave it to you then. I'll ask my business associates if they've heard any rumors about Minnith or the Quincy Company. We would appreciate that. Thank you, everyone. You're the only ones I can count on. I'm so powerless in all of this. It's pathetic of me. Don't worry, Chief ţ霖. We'll handle it from here. You just sit tight and relax. And maybe pray to the goddess for good luck while you're at it. Very well. I'll be waiting for you. Quest. One born every Minnith started. I'm Derek's father and the village chief, yet I'm so powerless in all of this. It's pathetic of me. I beg of you, please expose Minnith for the monster he is. This whole incident has Chief ṭ霖worried sick, but I suppose that's only natural. This involves not only his village, but his son as well. Still, too much stress can ruin your health. I'll do what I can to keep him calm. I should have a calming herbal tea around here somewhere. Perhaps I'll go brew him a cup. Oh, so sweet. Did Hayworth just leave? I think he said that last time. Alright, let's see. So he's actually not doing anything, huh? Just our luck. Yo, Mr. Grimwood. We were afraid you might have been out of your office. Yes. I was just in the middle of taking a much needed break. But it would seem you're in desperate need of my counsel. Is it really that obvious? I've seen those looks on your faces coming through my door countless of times by now. Please, take a seat. Might be busy, but I'm happy to lend an ear. Our apologies. Thank you. Wood and the SSS explained what they learned about Minnith and his actions throughout the past 24 hours. They also mentioned that Minnith had been collecting deeds to plots of land in the Morka village. I see. This is quite the predicament the village has found itself in. A case such as this would typically be a top priority for me. But as you know, I've been busy this past week drafting up a preliminary constitution for the mayor. I apologize, but I won't have time to handle this case personally. That's unfortunate, but we understand. We suspected that would be the case. Still, even just a constellation would be helpful. Very well. I'll give you any advice I can while you're here. We appreciate it, Mr. Grimwood. So, do you have any insight on this? At this point, there's no evidence of men engaging in any unlawful activity. At least as far as we can tell. Is there something we're missing? I do have an idea. Damn, already? Possibly. An Erebonian contact of mine once provided me with some reference material for a very similar case. Erebonia contact, huh? Though I can't say the circumstances are an exact match. Any lead that could help us with the investigation is a good one. If you think this case is worth mentioning, we'd be happy to hear about it. Very well. I can hardly refuse you all. Ahem. From what I can recall, several years ago, a man visited the estate of Erebonian Baron. He introduced himself as Ritner, enterprising businessman working for a famous brewing company. Ritner presented the Baron with an opportunity to become rich beyond his wildest dreams, and quickly at that, proposed that the Baron's Bearfleet fields, which had been passed down by the family for generations, used to establish the brewery. The facility would be constructed on the barony. The family would be responsible for managing them. That was the idea anyway. Hold on a second. What you're telling us is awfully reminiscent of what's going down in America. The Baron accepted the deal and signed Ritner's contract. Then, under the pretense of the construction of the brewery, the fields in the portion of the Baron's land were temporarily transferred to Ritner. Moreover, the Baron converted his assets into capital for the sake of getting the business off the ground. However, Ritner soon disappeared with both the deeds and the capital, never to be seen again. He fucking... Yo, you got him, huh? The hell? Bird and his family panicked after suddenly losing contact with Ritner. At the time, they had no idea the gravity of what was about to unfold. To their shock and surprise, they learned Ritner had sold the deeds to a third party. The land was to be repronounced into a villa resort. Today it stands as a part of the suburb instead. In the end, the Baron's family racked up a substantial debt. For too long, they had lost their entire territory. With that, the family was stripped of their rank and vanished without a trace. Wait, what? Wait, whoa, hey. Do we know about this? Am I crazy? I know it's like we're talking about like something that took place in Erebonia, but I'm trying to think. Or is this just something completely new? Just some new information. But I was trying to recall what led to. It's been such a long time. I was trying to recount what happened to Josette's family. Where are they from anyway? Damn, it's one hell of a story. That man conned them into giving up their property and sold it right under their noses. Who would even do such a thing? Your investigation immediately reminded me of that case. One person lies to earn another's trust before running off with a large fortune. Common strategy for committing fraud. Fraud? If this case is the same, then Minnith may not be a Quincy Company employee at all. He would simply be a conman trying to swindle Amorica for all they're worth. Precisely. Can't say for certain that's the case here, but I'm concerned it might be. I agree. There are too many parallels between that story and our case. It'd be best if we shifted our focus to investigating this as a potential act of fraud. That changes the kinds of leads we should be looking into. Exactly. As far as Minnith goes, there are two major areas that stand out to me as suspicious. First, that plan of his. We need to find out whether or not he's actually done anything to establish this Amorica honey company. We could probably figure that out by following the mirror trail. You'd have to apply for a bank loan to open a business in Crossbell. Guess we're taking a trip to the IBC. We need to go speak to a lawnfic. If it's all a sham, then we'll find the evidence we need at the IBC. The other point of concern is whether Minnith's actually an employee of the Quincy Company. The Quincy Company's headquarters aren't in Crossbell though, so that'll be a little tougher to ferret out. I may be able to help with that. We should try stopping by my grandfather's home. The McDowell estate? Why? There should be a brochure about the Quincy company there. It outlines how the company operates. We may be able to find some useful information. What's something like that doing in your Gramps pad, Madam Moiselli? Well, because I happen to enjoy making sweets, alright? I once took an interest in the Quincy company, so I ordered one of their brochures. Last I recall, it was on the shelf in my old bedroom. Then again, I doubt a simple brochure would have all the information we need.
I wouldn't be so quick to discount the possibility. It's official Quincy company material. Might be able to find something that conflicts with that Minnith set. Never hurts to cover all your bases.
Agreed. Let's drop by the McDowell estate too and see how it pans out. Thanks for all the invaluable advice, Mr. Grimwood. Because of you, we finally have some leads to chase down.
Always happy to be of service. Just to confirm, you said you were using the Hayworth residence as the base of operations, yeah?
Yeah, we are.
Very well then. I'll lend you my help with this case for as long as time permits me. Though unfortunately, I can't make any promises given my other responsibilities.
That's not a problem at all. You've already helped us immensely. It's nice having a professional in the neighborhood we can lean on.
I'll try to meet up with you at the Hayworths later. Luck with your investigation until then.
Thanks, Mr. Grimwood. Okay, let's get this investigation underway. To start, we'll need to go to the IBC and look into Minnith's plan regarding the Mork and Honey Company. It'll be a good idea to swing by the McDowell estate for that brochure too. Something in there might contradict Minnith's words. That gives us a total of 2 leads to follow up on. Roger, we won't rest until we find that evidence. Let's see. Oh, here it is. This is the Quincy Company brochure I mentioned earlier.
Dang, they even had this sucker bound.
You'd say they didn't put any effort into the thing. They have ample resources to do so, considering the size of the company. Whatever is written inside should be sufficiently credible. And it's a good thing we stopped by for it. Alright, let's take a closer look inside. As the leader in the confectionery manufacturing, the Quincy Company strives tirelessly toward its next innovation. This brochure aims to briefly introduce the methods and creeds that drive our passion. We believe that the key aspect of any confectionery is taste. Otherwise, how could anyone enjoy it? With this belief as its core tenet, the Quincy Company refuses to compromise on the quality of its products. Our factories are fitted with the latest equipment and operated with the utmost attention to hygiene. Here at the Quincy Company, we are particular not just about the quality of our ingredients, but where they are sourced as well. Our product development pipeline, too, is run with the strictest of standards. Prototypes are personally sampled by our executives who, after many meetings, decide whether a product is worthy to go on market. Only then can it reach the production line. This has been a Quincy Company tradition since its founding, such that we may deliver our valuable customers nothing less than the finest confectionaries to enjoy. It is the commitment to excellence that has made the Quincy Company the exceptional confectionery it is today. I'm not sure what we were expecting. This is all just your typical corporate double talk. Did anybody manage to find a contradiction between this and something Minnith has said? Not in particular. Maybe coming here for this brochure was a waste of time after all. Actually, I did notice something. You did?
Oh, I get it. You just activated the old detective mode and bam, right? But don't leave us hanging. What'd you find?
If you remember what Minnith told us at the hotel yesterday, the answer is obvious. It was only a passing remark, but it still comes into major conflict with what's written in this brochure. Enough to prove that he isn't, in fact, an employee of the Quincy Company to begin with. You got that much out of this one little pamphlet? That's right. See, if Minnith... Sorry to cut you off, but where's the fun in spoiling it all now? What are you talking about? Well, if I'm being honest, it's annoying that you're the only one who's figured it out. But why not give the rest of us a chance and save it for when we interrogate Minnith? Wazi, this is an investigation, not some game. I agree with Wazi actually. Our hypothesis might not be accurate after all. As a precaution, we shouldn't let ourselves be swayed by a mere hunch. Not to mention, I don't appreciate you still in the spotlight with your detective mode, as Randy put it.
Damn! Yeah, what's going on with you, Tio? Wazi is typical Wazi stuff, but Tio, thought you were better than this. Is Tio no longer my GOAT? Will I finally start to hate on Tio after all? Tune in for the next... No, we're not doing it. Let's stop.
Why do I get the feeling that the second comment was the real reason she just doesn't want me to share? Fine, if you two insist. Instead, I want you all to consider everything we've learned so far. I'll summarize the main points of the brochure in the detective notebook. All that's left is for us to visit the IBC, where we can find out there. Lead the way. Our girl ಠಃLove.
Hello again, SSS. What can I do for you today?
Well, we'd like to ask for the IBC's cooperation with an investigation we're working on.
Would it be possible for you to do an account search for us, ಠಃLove? We're hoping to look into some suspicious mirror transfers on a certain depositor.
You want me to pull up private information on one of our clients then?
Doing so is within company policy if it's related to criminal inquiry. But would you mind telling me the details of the situation first?
Not a problem. Boyd provided all the information they had on the suspect fraud case.
See, I believe I understand the circumstances now. Will this be sufficiently probable cause for us to conduct a search?
Cracking down on these kinds of things in the bank's best interest too. Fraud would damage your reputation. Right about that. That's for damn sure.
You are correct, and this is related to a legitimate investigation. I can help, but you'll have to settle for me simply telling you what I can pull up on the terminal screen here.
That's more than enough. If you would, please.
Very well. First, let me search for an account registered under the name Minnith. American Honey Company, subsidiary of Quincy Company. There we are. We do indeed have an account open under that name. Hold on. What happened? Did you find something incriminating? Well, I don't have the authority to tell you the exact balance on record, but I will say that the American Honey Company has no more than a minimum deposit in its account.
What exactly does that mean?
Basically, corporate accounts require an initial sum of capital to open. In this case, the base amount is all there is. From what you've told me, that would leave tens of thousands of mirror unaccounted for. Minnith has the construction of the factory, management of the fields, and more to cover. It is simply impossible for any minimum deposit to be capable of financing all of that. That much is clear. And despite him holding the titles to the land and signing several deals, the balance hasn't changed a single time. It's suspicious to say the very least. By which I mean this account appears to have been made for the sole purpose of gaining Derek's trust. Things clearly aren't adding up here in more ways than one.
Yeah, this is just the kind of evidence we needed. We appreciate your cooperation, ಠಃLove.
Not at all. I'm glad I could be of assistance. If you require anything more, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay. We now have material on every suspicious aspect of Minnith and his plane. Let's make our way back to Hayworth residence.
Got it.
Gosh, the SSS.
There you all are.
Mr. Grimwood, I'm glad you could make it. Did you just get back yourself, Mr. Hayworth? Yes. I finished asking my business associates about the matter at hand. How did things go on your end? We were able to round up a few leads thanks to Mr. Grimwood. How about you, Mr. Hayworth? I did just the same, in a manner of speaking. You see, I'm not quite sure what to make of all of it. Well, you went through the trouble of digging up that info, so you may as well share with the rest of the class. Agreed. The information may be beneficial to our investigation. I suppose you're right. I asked my business associates if the name Minnith ring any bells, having never heard it myself. What they informed me is that he's been making inquiries into a certain market since arriving in Crossbell. And what market would that be? Land prices in various locations throughout Crossbell.
Land prices?
He sounds more like a real estate agent at this point. Why would a Quincy company employee even need that kind of information? The answer to that just might be instrumental into helping us figure out Minnith's true objective here.
You think so? It's certainly something worth considering. Incidentally, I may have discovered something else of note we last saw one of.
Huh?
Harold, Chief Zolta, could I ask you to help me find something in my office?
At your office, Ian?
I don't mind, but is it important? Well, it isn't substantial enough to prove anything in of itself, but we may be able to use it as a final nail in the coffin once you pin Minnith down.
You really got something like that up your sleeve, Grizzly Grim?
Possibly. We may not make it in time, so please don't wait for us. You gotta get to Amorica as quickly as you can. If Minnith is the criminal we think he is, and this plan could very well be in its final stages as we speak. I'm confident, however, that the evidence you have on hand will be enough for you to solve the case. Best of luck, SSS.
Got it. Thanks, Mr. Grimwood. Okay guys, off to Amorica Village. It's time to reveal Minnith's true colors and stop his phony deals in their tracks. I'll drive Ian and Chief Tolta over to Amorica in my car once we're done. In the meantime, tread carefully, everyone. Don't let that Minnith get the best of you.
I'll return to the village after I help Mr. Grimwood find whatever it is he's looking for. Till then, I leave my son in your hands. Do what you can to save Derek from himself.
What did they see? Oh, there they are. Damn it. Did they already close the deal? You six again. The special support section. Derek, Minnith, there are a few things we'd like to ask. What kind of agreements were you hoping to conduct today? Meddling in my affairs on my father's behalf again, are you? Please, Derek, there's no harm in answering their question. After all, our plan has already been set into motion. And what do you mean by that? Right before you all arrived, Derek and I finished signing the requested paperwork. In doing so, we have arranged to expand the operations of the Lotus Fields lent to me by the villagers. The Quincy Company will then take over the management of the field. What? You signed away the rights to almost all of the village's agriculture? Is this really what you want, Derek? What are you talking about? Nothing is changing, only transferring management of the fields to me. Yes, of course. Quite simple, really. With my company harvesting the honey, we'll be able to streamline production of the candy. The temporary transfer of the land rights to my company is a necessary first step to facilitate the process. What a crafty bastard. The scheme has reached its final phase, which means... Now then, Derek, I'll be delivering this contract to our main office. We'll be in touch come tomorrow. Look forward to good news. This dude about to dip. Sounds great. I'll be waiting. Lloyd! We can't let him get away. Before you go, Minnith, I have a few more questions. Oh? And what might they be? Well, for starters, are you aware of the allegations leveled against you? The primary of which, of course, is suspicion of fraud. What? That's absurd. How dare you insult Minnith like that? Now, Derek, please calm yourself. Minnith. Special support section, was it? What could possibly make you suspect me of being a common criminal? Surely you have some manner of proof of your claim. That we do. Intriguing. Why don't you tell me all about it then? But first, let me remind you that I am an imperial citizen. If it turns out that your allegations are indeed entirely baseless, I will do what I must to right that indictment. Police officers though you may be. It's fine with us. Lloyd! Don't worry, Ellie. Let me handle this. Okay, Lloyd, I see him right now. Like, yo, Ellie. Quiet for a second. Let me handle this business. Okay, I see you right now, Lloyd. Still not my favorite, though. Based on our investigation, there's no doubt in my mind that Minnith is guilty. I'm going to expose him as the fraud he is and show Derek the truth. This is fire. How very glib. If that's how you want to play this, then go right ahead. I'll answer anything you like. Well, your first question. Right, about your actions in Crossbell. There's a contradiction between what you said and what you've done. Would you please recount your actions for me? A contradiction? Very well. Since arriving in Crossbell, I've been cooperating with Derek to advance our plans. That plan will result in the formation of the Amorica Honey Company, a subsidiary of the Quincy Company. It will specialize in producing candy made from Amorica's high-quality honey, combined with my company's alchemy. It is a surefire success. The venture has already been approved by the city and is just about prepared to launch. Tell me, what is so contradictory about that? Well, everything. This plan is more like a charade from where I'm standing. Our investigation has uncovered a key discrepancy in what you just said. You see, Minnith, what is the contradiction in Minnith's plan? Is confectionery alchemy that the plan is underway, or the potential profitability? It's the plan being underway. For sure. The records we looked into at the IBC reveal your mistake. You say this plane is prepared to launch. In reality, it hasn't actually made any progress at all. The IBC? What are you talking about? Consider this. If the Quincy Company truly did intend to go through with this plan in Crossbell, it would need a loan from the IBC to fund the construction and development of the subsidiary. Well, yes, of course. I registered the company with the city and opened a corporate account. But that's as far as you went, isn't it? The account for the Amorican Honey Company contained no more than the minimum balance required to open it. While we weren't told the exact amount, I would speculate it's only in the tens of thousands of mire. Just how are you planning to build a factory and run a business with so little starting capital? You looked into my IBC account. This can't be true, can it, Minnith? Please don't misunderstand, Derek. I never said there was any credence to their claims. I'm merely commenting on the audacity it takes to do something so invasive. Forget that. Explain why there's hardly any mirror in that account. Being an executive of the company, I must be especially judicious when moving money around. As such, I can't take out a loan on behalf of the Quincy Company. Of course, I will be securing one from the IBC once I've received the permission from the main office. Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. A deft evasion. Don't count us out just yet. I could tell Minnith is getting frustrated. If we continue to press him and pile on the evidence, we can get him to crack. That look on your face tells me you have something more to ask. It just so happens that I do. That was far from our only point of contention about you, Minnith. You're still not satisfied? Don't let them rattle you, Derek. This will be a good opportunity for me to clear your mind of any and all doubt. Next, I'd like to ask about you, Minnith. Say that you're an executive of the Quincy Company. But is that really true? Wait, what are you implying? Are you trying to say that Minnith isn't associated with the Quincy Company at all? That's what our evidence points to. goodness me. I didn't expect you to say something so outlandish. How about I show you my business card and employee ID? Those articles could easily be forged. Regardless, we have evidence that would surprise or supersede either of those. And we found it in the Quincy Company informational brochure. An informational brochure?
Oh yeah, the one in Mademoiselle's room.
We recorded the main points in a detective notebook. The brochure comes directly from the Quincy Company's main office, so there's no doubt as its authenticity. What's more, there's a clear discrepancy between its contents and what you told us yesterday. What I told you? That's right. Something you mentioned made it clear to us that you aren't the executive you claim to be. What is the contradiction between Minnith's statements yesterday and the brochure? Creation of subsidiary, his history in sales, his dislike of sweets. His dislike of sweets, isn't it? Right? Allow me to quote a statement you made yesterday. Despite working for the company, I've never been one for sweets. Yeah, I knew he said something like that. I knew he didn't like sweets. Do you deny this fact? Lloyd? How exactly is that relevant? That's right, I don't care for sweets. What of it? Are you trying to say that someone who dislikes sweets couldn't possibly work for a confectionery company? A confectionery company in general, maybe, but not this one in particular. What are you going on about? Who do you work for? The confectionery police department? This is what was written on the brochure. Prototypes are personally sampled by our executives who, after many meetings, decide whether a product is worthy to go market. Isn't that curious? What does that... Wait. It doesn't make sense that someone like Minnith, who dislikes sweets, would be hired by a company like Quincy, not with a tradition like that. Wouldn't you agree? No, I mean, I've never said I hated sweets. Or you just said it a second ago too. You doubled down on it. What are you talking about? That's not going to work on us. Ugh, Lloyd is in his bag right now. Detective Ace. Sorry, let me stop yelling in you guys' ear. Probably like, yo, Acker, shut the fuck up sometimes. Sorry. You admitted to not liking them in this very conversation. How stupid do you think we are? Oh, we're here right now. Yeah. But that raises the question. Why would you lie about being an executive of the Quincy Company? It's simple. You intended to gain Derek's trust before ripping him off. This is the only deduction I can make based on the evidence. Oh, this is hard right here. This is the kind of shit I like. And we got this fire beat. As for the confectioner seeking to make use of amorphous honey, the Quincy Company was merely a name with weight to it, one that Minnith threw around as a show of credibility. Minnith, what is the meaning of this? You tricked me. Derek, don't allow yourself to be deceived. These scoundrels. What'd you just call us? I mean, think about it for a second. Let's say, for argument's sake, that I did come to a market village for the purpose of founding a fraudulent honey company. If that being the case, I had an ulterior motive in deceiving my very good new friend Derek, then what was it? Why would I go to such ridiculous lengths? If you have no proof to back your claims, then you have no right to call me a fraud. You should arrest yourselves for slander. Buddy said you should arrest yourself. Yo, this is getting hype right now. We do bear the burden of proof, as well as providing a viable motive. As far as the motive goes, I think I have a pretty good idea. This man, Lloyd, is in his bag right now. What? Are you sure, Lloyd? I've barely even started untangling everything that's going on here. And Wazzy ain't said a damn word. Don't worry, I've got this. The person who pointed us in the right direction today also went to retrieve the final piece of evidence we need. The Grimwood. I'm not gonna hype you up though, cause I know. The last piece of the puzzle that'll ounce Minnith once and for all. But with the mumbling, if you have something to say, then out with it. With pleasure. You went to all these lengths to deceive this village with one goal in mind. What is Minnith trying to gain from his deception in a morgue? Seizing land right? I mean, do we have to look in? Do we have to read the rest of these? This is the one. Monopolizing honey sales, peddling knockoff orbital cart, bro. Come on. Your true objective here is obtaining the land rights to the Morka village itself. What? A trader we know named Harold Hayworth gave us information about you. Immediately after arriving in Crossbow, you, Minnith, started looking into land prices throughout the state. If you were employed by the Quincy company in search of new business ventures, this would make no sense. So why do it? I can only think of one possibility. Seizing land was your aim from the very start. It was? Of all the outrageous schemes. There's more to it. Morka village is surrounded by scenic beauty, making it a high-value location. Yeah, it's beautiful here. Like real shit. I said it all the time, but if I was from Crossbow, this is where I would live. Suppose the deeds were sold to a third party as prime real estate for a villa resort. How much more do you think they would go for? Land like this, I would estimate somewhere in the tens of millions of mire. That said, I don't think the villagers would ever agree to such an arrangement. Exactly. That's what made this whole fraudulent ruse, painstaking as it was, necessity. Now, if we assume your motive was to obtain the land itself, your actions become that much more clear. First, you obtain the rights to the Lotus Fields, the farmland, and the village's private property. Then, under the pretext of returning to your company's main office, you vanish from Crossbell entirely. Finally, you sell the deeds on the black market and pocket the hefty sum of mire they're worth. That, Minnith, has been your plan the entire time.
Ah. Minnith, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Lloyd, is that? Pete. I guess Grimwood couldn't come, so he sent Pete. Thank goodness, it looks like we made it in time. Derek. Father, Mr. Hayworth. Aren't you from Mr. Grimwood's office? I'm his assistant, Pete. He would have come himself, but he had to get back to drafting the Constitution. Did you come with the evidence? That we did. Ian said this would prove to be useful insurance. You're all going to want to take a look at this. Pete produced a photograph for everyone to see. It was of a man who looked like a merchant with the same face as Minnith. The man in this picture is... Why? Why do you have this? A reporter Mr. Grimwood knew in the Empire gave this to him a long time ago. However, the name of this photo isn't Minnith, it's Ritner. Ritner? I feel like we heard that name recently. Of course, they just told us about it. I remember. It's the name of the man who stole the Erebonian Baron's land, the one Mr. Grimwood told us about. Oh yeah, that dude. That's right. I asked Ian about it again and he said there's no mistaking it. Well, this is a plot twist I wasn't expecting. Lloyd, why don't you do Minnith the honors? Tell him the only thing this photo could mean. With pleasure. The reason the man before us, Minnith, and the man in the photo of Ritner look identical is... Why do Ritner and Minnith look the same? They're twins. Minnith is Ritner in disguise. That's diabolical. They're the same person. Minnith and Ritner are one and the same. That's the only explanation. And it's because they're the same person that their MOs are such a close match. Mr. Grimwood came to the same conclusion. This man must have been swindling down to an exact horrible science. You're a crook, Minnith. As such, you'll be charged with attempted fraud. This is, of course, on top of the fraud you previously committed in Ereboni. I can only guess how many skeletons we'll find in your closet when we get done with you. I would very much like to hear all of the details in the department's interrogation room. You. Damn you. I am a professional. My work must be flawless. You meddlesome brats. Minnith. Don't get too full of yourselves just yet. You may have won this time, but I won't be apprehended so easily. What? Come, my lovely beast. What the fuck? Are you serious?
What? Monsters. They appear to be well trained too. I mean, look what. Oh my god. Oh, look at Randy. Bro. Red Constellation? Is that why he's making this face? These cougars. Don't freaking tell me. No. Derek. Chief ಠಃLove is too dangerous. Do you have any idea what you're doing? I know precisely what I'm doing. Hence why I'm doing it. Oh, and don't think even for a second about trying to fight me. That is, that she don't value the lives of Derek and the villagers. Now step aside if you would. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Farewell, for we shall never meet again. No shot, are you? Derek! Damn it, you can't just let him escape. After him. No! He managed to get away. I've never been so frustrated. I can't believe a spineless coward like him gave us the slip. At least none of the villagers were hurt. Let's look at the silver lining. What a mess. If we come across him again, he won't be so lucky. For now though, let's regroup with Chief ಠಃLove and the villagers so we can report what's happened. Yeah, that's a good idea. Randy knows. What's up, Randy? I can't thank you all enough for what you've done today. There's no exaggeration to say that you saved the village from the clutches of that gunman. Though he still got away in the end. Yes, but now the department knows to keep a lookout for him. It should only be a matter of time before he's caught. Derek. I made a grave mistake, and I put everyone through so much trouble just so they could fix it. I let that man rope me into a scheme, and it nearly cost us all our livelihoods. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're not the one who's guilty. Wrong. It's my fault completely. No two ways about it. I was so desperate to fix and reform Amorca that I ignored my father and almost drove it into the ground instead. I have no right to become the next village chief. That is where you're wrong. Father, I've been so stuck on old ways that I've never tried to hear your proposals for what they were. I've known the village will go under the maintain our current course, and yet I've done nothing. It is my inaction that drove you to do this. Thus, I must bear a large share of responsibility for letting it happen. It's very admirable, Chief ಠಃLove. Thanks to this crisis, I finally realized where I went wrong. The welfare of this village cannot hinge entirely on the ideology of a single stubborn old man. So instead, Derek, I would ask that you provide me your input as well. We will each contribute our ideas and discuss them with the villagers. That is the only way we can ensure a future for Amorica. You're right. So sorry, Father. From here on out, I'm going to dedicate myself to the betterment of the village. I'm happy the two of you were able to reconcile. Same. Makes almost losing your whole village to some crook worth it, wouldn't you say? Come on now. Put a sock in it, Wazzy. Learn how to read a room. I'm really sorry about him. I swear we've tried everything. Yeah, Lloyd is, yeah, he's finished, right? He's done with him. At any rate, we owe you all an enormous debt. Allow me to express my thanks once more. Also, my gratitude to Mr. Grimwood. Shame he couldn't be here. I'll pass your thanks on to him, Mr. Grimwood, and let him know what happened. Even if I only played a minor role, I'm glad I could be of assistance. I look forward to our continued partnership, Chief Tolta. Same to you, Harold. If you could, keep a lookout for Minnith just in case he returns. And of course, you can always contact the SSS if you ever need our assistance. Hopefully, it'll never be anything related to this ordeal again. We'll be sure to keep you in mind. Quest of one born, every Minnith completed. Yo, first of all, that was a great quest, but my voice is fucking done. My voice is done, and it doesn't help that, like I said, I've been going through a coughing fit. So that's probably making it even worse. But man, this was a great quest. I like stuff like this, especially when you have to rack your brain a little bit. This is good. But with that being said, I will see you guys next time for more Trails to Ash. Take care.